hopefully last long enough, because I am not doing the gardening club this week because I've got a meeting. So I thought I would show you all my lockdown project, and this is it. This was my next door neighbour's greenhouse, and they were going to get rid of it. So we nipped over the fence and we took it down with their permission. And we did it here. So, and I'm absolutely thrilled. So I just thought I'd show you some of the stuff I've got growing. I've got some tomatoes here, and you can see I've actually got quite a few tomatoes growing at the moment, and a little bit of flower, so that's good. And I've got them in these funny little, they're special tomato pots, if you like, and you just water them through those little holes, and there's a reservoir, and I've put like some there's a sort of a floor to the pot so that the compost doesn't mix, and then I put some capillary matting in so that it feeds up the water into the soil, and it's supposed to stop, you know, like mildew and things like that. These are Tumbling Tom tomatoes, and they've gone mental. I mean, just so many tomatoes, little tomatoes on there. And I've had loads of these already. They're yellow ones, so these ones are nearly ripe in here. What are they called? Tumbling Tom Yellow. Oh, there you go. Loads of flower, probably too much flower, but loads and loads of tomatoes. It's just going and going and going, so they're amazing. Some lettuce. I've had some herbs, but I've moved them out today. So these are my scented pelargoniums, and you can't sort of getting tangled up in tomatoes now, really, but they all smell, they almost smell slightly different. That one's sort of Parma violets, that one's more sort of tobacco-y. And there's a lemon one somewhere, I think it's that one. Oh no, it's that one. That one. Oh, it's got a little flower come out on it. So they're lovely. So they were new tiny little plug plants this year, so they've come on really well, so I'm really pleased with those. And here's some more tomatoes. They're the same variety as the ones across, and actually the yield is still very good on these as well, so I'm getting plenty of flower. Now I've got some fruit setting, I shall take some of these leaves off. I don't know what that's doing on there, I must take that off. So that the sun can get to the fruit a bit more. And now they're reaching the top of the greenhouse, I'll have to be pinching the tops out. So I've got these ones in just ordinary pots. Couldn't get hold of a grow bag for love nor money. Well, I could, but it'd be about 40 quid, which is ridiculous. So I just got them in ordinary pots in a grow bag tray. That I've only just watered and fed them. They don't normally stand in water, so that'll soon be gone. And then I've got them in these collars. Again, the same sort of principle. You're watering the roots. You plant them higher and you're watering underneath. So again, it's stopping the top of the pot becoming damp. So that's bone dry, the tops. But actually, there's lots of water going in. And I've got marigolds on to try and deter whitefly. Hasn't worked so far. Today I burnt a citronella candle in here to see if that would make any difference. But I've got biological control coming from a wasp or something that you stick on a... Anyway, and some sticky fly papers for when we go away on holiday. So yeah, so that's my new project, and I love it. I'm so chuffed with it. Always wanted a little greenhouse, and yeah, we worked hard to put that together. So here I've got my scented climbers that I'm bringing on. Again, they were just little tiny shoots that I've potted up, and these are now going to be ready to be planted. So that it's just there's honeysuckle and a couple of different varieties of honeysuckle and jasmine. So yeah, I've got to find somewhere for those. Now these are my raised planters, and I try to put flowers in these, cut flowers. But this year as well, I've had an overrun of tomatoes. There's some tomatoes in there, just squeezed it in. I don't know what the yield's going to be like, but hey, they're flowering, so that's good. And I've buried some flower pots, you'll see. Again, same sort of principle, so that you're watering the roots and you're not watering the foliage on those. And these are my cucumbers. So they seem to have grown about 12 inches in just a week. And most exciting, I don't know if you can see, I've got a baby cucumber. How cool is that? So yeah, very proud of that. And yeah, as I say, I've got some flowers and that growing in here. There's also some radishes. I've got dahlias for cut flowers, and loads of verbena, which is south seeds everywhere. Once you've got it in my garden. Several weeds. This is the scruffy end of the garden. That's my potting shed. Now I'm going to show you in here, but it is an absolute state. I'm quite ashamed of myself. But it's look at it. Oh my god. Well, you can see I use it. So I've got some salad crops that I've sown over there that are in the propagators. This was just the remains of some geraniums I potted up at the weekend. No, I've really got to tidy this place up. So this was full of compost a few weeks ago, and it's all gone. But this is where I store all my gubbins, so all my pots, and I've got all my pots underneath there, and all my seed trays and my seeds and lotions and potions, all that sort of stuff. And I've got tools all over the place, because nobody wants to walk down and up and down the garden for their tools. So that's my little potting shed. This is one side of the garage. So this one is kind of like a woodland walk. This is a cherry tree, which only last week was absolutely full of cherries, and the birds have had them. So, but this year I did beat them to it, because that's being in lockdown, I managed to get some for myself. So I feel quite smug. And that's just a little, I've got some silver birch trees that Nick and I planted, and they're just massive now. And then there's just all sorts of shrubs, and there's a cornus, and there's magnolia, and lots of acers and things. So we'll have a look at that another day, maybe. I don't want to do it too long. Now don't judge me, but look, every garden's got one. Look at that. We can't get a slot at the tip, so until we do, it's there, it's just waiting to go. So there it is, down the end of the garden, hiding. And that's my dog, being a circus dog. So yeah, this bit where the greenhouse is now, that used to be compost, my compost bin. So I've got a couple of spare compost bins at the moment. I haven't quite finished this bit off, but I will be putting some more shingle down there so that it just all blends in. And some of my climbers are going up here, so they go over one of my arches. And these are my water butts. I've got another one at the other side. Wouldn't do without them. And then this used to be my vegetable garden, but then I got poorly and it was far too much, and I was neglecting it, and the weeds took over, and so I've turned it into a rose garden, which is much less work, much less work, much more easy to manage. They were beautiful a couple of weeks ago, and then they all got blown away, so I had to do a lot of pruning, and they're just all coming back again. But they smell lovely. And then I've got my clematis just coming out over the arch. Another bargain, another dead plant that I brought back to life. So quite proud of that. And then that's the guinea pig shed that you can see there, the back of the guinea pig shed. And that's where my garden sort of tears down. And that is, we've made that out of a pallet. So that's our living wall that we sort of propped up, sort of wedged between the guinea pig shed. And we've rested it on the wall so that it wouldn't tip down. So that's quite nice. We're just sort of experimenting with that this year. So just a few more roses. These have collapsed a bit in the rain over the weekend, which is a shame. Nick and I have been known to sit down here and have a pint or two, which is quite nice. This is my fig, and again I got this from Wilkinson's, I think. It was just a stick, but it loves it here against the garage because it's a nice warm wall normally. But this year, and it was covered in fruit, and it's such a shame, but this year they all fell off because we had that cold snap, so that's a real shame. But very pretty. And then there's some more of that sort of walk through, and it's all ferns, and that pink is an acer, believe it or not, pink acer. And I've got hydrangeas, and there's a buddleia, and it's a little bit overgrown because we've got robins nesting in the ivy at the back, and I need to cut all this back, but I can't really do that until August to make sure that they've properly fledged. I don't want to disturb their nest. So yeah, so that's the bottom bit of my garden.